right, everybody, enough of the waiting. Sorry for the delay. Let's all gather around the cosmic bonfire for the week of November 7th to November 13th, 2024. Are you energetically ready? This report is for you to help you get prepared, not just with what to feel and expect, what energies are present during that week, but also what behaviors are recommended in order to achieve success throughout that week. All right, so let's get started on the influence. And where do we begin? How about the dream bot? The dream bot is the collective unconscious, where it pulls in all the words from around the web about people's dreams, dream material. And it's showing a perfect, actually, like a verbatim match to our latest energy window, the energy window that we are in, number 16. And I've called the dream bot itself the eternal campfire, the urgent and eternal. It's a component about it's now, but also it's forever, now and forever. Then we've got the I Ching, centering in truth, and just about everything we're going to talk about this week, from the first quarter moon in Aquarius to the Sagittarius square Pisces to the Mercury square Saturn to the Sun in Scorpio. It all is about centering in truth. So we have the deep inner work with the Scorpio, Sun in Scorpio. We have the knowledge and mental piece with the truth with Aquarius. And then we have Mercury with a lot of rigor and a lot of pressure in there to figure things out. We also have the Grand Fire Trine. That's the only other thing that I was missing, but let's keep the bonfire going. This is Grand Fire Trine number 1 of 3 in our energy window. And it's going to age out. The first one this week is going to age out, then it's going to go away. Mercury, then it's going to go into retrograde. And then we'll have Grand Fire Trine number 2. That'll be in the follow-on weeks, however, not this week. We'll have a Grand Fire Trine for the first half of the week. But nonetheless, we're still overall in the bonfire. So let's get started. Every time I push that button, it resets. A huge shout out to Evolving Beyond 2140. And we're evolving beyond just the regular old up arrows. So I'm really gleefully reading all the comments and noticing that Evolve Beyond 2140 got 17 up arrows. That's a lot of up arrows. That's a new record. And says, laying low as usual, people are becoming unhinged, and I am saving my energy reserves to fight off the spiritual attacks. Godspeed, everyone. Yeah, and that's what I'm noticing as well, even in the therapy group that I'm at in Facebook are coming unhinged. But anyway, big shout out to you. Well done. And thank you, everybody, for engaging in the comments. I also do want to do a shout out to the runner-up. I don't normally do this, but with 13 was a huge number. Stonewaller, I'm done dealing with people who are clinging on to BS. And as an Aquarian myself, I couldn't agree more. Well done, you two. Here's the Dream Bot. And let's make it easy. Let's pan out, zoom out, and you got red in the top part. So that's the most urgent, and that's called the time's urgency, and time eternal. And then we have the blue arrows. This is sort of in the middle, and that's the wisdom's quest. And then we have the yellow down in the bottom. That's the gathering place. It's a place for, well, the words are help and need, community, thread, the things that, and forum, the things that bring us together. We need to come together. All right. And I have a couple of linguistic sets But, well, let me read those first. So, number one at the very top, November minutes always down. So you can make that. Linguistic set number two, remember, help, need, reality, free. Basically, to me, that says, remember, we have a lot of people in help and in need that we need to free back into reality. They're not in reality. They're in some other space. And so that's what this whole context is about. So work with me here. I just kind of create a little, I don't know, a little story about the Dreambot as it appears to me. It's the imminent but eternal campfire. Imagine a group of travelers from all walks of life around a campfire, sharing stories and wisdom as the night grows long. The fire's warmth invites them to open up. Its light pushes back the surrounding darkness. In this timeless scene, urgency fades away and the quest for understanding unites the eclectic circle. The campfire connects them. Anyway, in my opinion, the Dreambot, the collective unconscious, is right in sync with what we're expecting for the energy window number 16. All right, let's head into our astrology. And we start with, excuse me, you are here. We're in the very early stages of our Libra eclipse cycle with all these new moons and all these full moons. And getting into March is when we start seeing the next eclipse cycle. Energy 16 is our window. Looking at the top-down chart, we're looking in between these two vertical pieces, and we have Venus going into Capricorn this week. And we have wanted to highlight all these reds. Right in the middle of our week, we have Sagittarius square Pisces, because we have two different squares. They're not even, the Sagittarius planets aren't even conjunct. They're in totally different parts of Sag, and the same thing for Pisces. That's Neptune and Saturn. And so we have basically a square off between Sagittarius and Pisces, and we'll look into that archetype. So here's your energy chart, and we have 3 lines. Sorry, I thought these were different colors, but they turned out not to be. But you have basically the grand fire trine wanes off by Monday. We have the other one that develops is this Sagittarius square Pisces. That archetype kind of climaxes midway. And then early in the week, we have the first quarter moon in Aquarius. When you put it all together, you kind of get that. Oh, did I talk about, I don't remember if I talked about the I Ching, centering in truth. So that's kind of what we're looking for across the spectrum, and we get it on day 1. So you have Sun in Scorpio. That's a real depth, compulsion, power to really dig deep and get down into the shadow work. So there's some centering in truth right there for sure, the inner work. Then you have the outer work. You've got the grand fire trine, and that's with the north node. So it gives us direction. And this is remember from our energy window, the hero's ascent, and represents the journey of the individual towards self-realization, courage, and fulfillment of their highest potential. This hero's quest supports the centering in truth. And we get it on the north node. North node is one of the points, so it points us fiery, willing to fight for truth in outward sense, but into the future. And then lastly, we have these squares. We've got Sagittarius, Venus in late Sagittarius, Mercury in early Sagittarius, and they're both squared over to Pisces. So what is that? Well, it's the existentialist that represents the archetypical journey of the soul, caught between the polarities of expansion, Sag, and dissolution, mind and spirit, self-determination and self-transcendence. It encapsulates the human struggle to make meaning of existence. And anybody know who this is? Oh, should I tell you? Or if I wait until later, I'll forget. So this is Jean-Paul Sartre. Sartre, sort of a writer, author, philosopher about existential matters. So I thought I'd put that in there. Very existential day. And I think that speaks to the not just centering in truth, but in a sort of an existential way, sort of a humanity sort of a way. Not just an individual, it's not just an individual thing. And that's the importance of that cosmic bonfire. We're all going to get around, really get down to the deep depths of who we are as individuals, but who we are as a humanity. Here's Friday, and the big news is the first quarter moon. And that happens in Aquarius at 17 degrees 20 minutes at 11:55 p.m. on Friday the 8th. This is the cosmic activist. First quarter moon in Aquarius combines the energies of the rebel and the visionary archetypes into an overarching type, the cosmic activist. This is someone driven to challenge mainstream thought and behavior in pursuit of avant-garde ideal. They feel a burning need to shake up the collective and steer humanity to a more enlightened direction. And if I didn't have that already, boy, I can't imagine what that'll feel like on Friday. Definitely supports the centering in truth. And plus, we have all the things we already talked about yesterday. On Saturday, then, this one of our Sag square Pisces squares goes exact, and that's Venus and Neptune at 27 degrees 20 minutes, respectively. This is the enchanted adventurer. Merges the dreamer, the illusionist, and the gambler into the enchanted adventurer. This is someone spellbound by the promise of an extraordinary romance just over the horizon. So it's a little element of imagination, but hope, but also greener pastures-ish. They quest after transcendent love, chasing mystical visions of a soulmate, if you don't already have yours. Benefits and opportunities of this energy are an aspirational idealism in relationships, is to really value it at a new level. Pressured openness to soulful connections. So not just soulmates or romance. It's all sort of cosmic connections. Attunement to etheric beauty and bliss. Here's where the Grandfire trine number 1 ends, and that's because Mercury has transited too far out of orbit with Mars. But nonetheless, we still have a strong square down to Saturn. In fact, I guess we'll talk about it on Tuesday. But on Monday, the 11th, this is when Venus goes into Capricorn. So her square, her Sagittarius part of this square goes out. And now Venus is in Capricorn. And this is the legacy builder. Integrates the strategist, the loyalist, and the sensualist. This is someone who approaches relationships with an eye towards crafting something that will stand the test of time. They invest their romantic energies shrewdly and are in it to win it, for sure. Relationships built on solid foundations, purposeful pursuit of enduring love, maturity, and realism in partnerships. You can see the secondary sort of theme this week is in relationships, a heavy theme on that and how we relate to each other. So here's Tuesday. Here's our last remaining Sag versus Pisces, because we have a T-square on Saturn, and that is Mercury square Saturn at 12 degrees 42 minutes, and that happens at 7:21 a.m. But anyway, just the Mercury square Saturn is the seeker of truth. And talk about centering in truth. This is a resurgence of that whole meme. It integrates the skeptic, the philosopher and student archetypes. This is someone on a quest for ultimate understanding, grappling with big questions at the intersection of reason and mystery, belief and doubt. With this energy, you might feel the ability to think deeply and critically, synthesis of logic and intuition. You might have extra mental discipline and rigor. Few of us might slide into cynicism and nihilism. You might be hearing that a lot next week. But overall, it's a very strong support for centering in truth. And then there's Wednesday, all the things that we really talked about, except for the Venus square Neptune, or Venus square Neptune. All right, you ready for the I Ching? It's 61 with line 5 as a change line. So it's centering in truth with line 5. Centering in truth involves becoming conscious of the relationship between your heart and circumstances of your life. Truth becomes power when you let go of prejudice. Oh boy, that would be good advice for so many people. And make yourself receptive to the world as it really is. Feelings this week, according to the I Ching: deep personal confidence mixed with vulnerability, inner certainty despite external doubts, emotional authenticity that may feel risky to express. Might have a consideration of how to maintain integrity while adapting to circumstances. Might have a sensation of being caught in the middle, tension between inner knowing and outer expression. And change line 5 specifically is about the transitional state where truth emerges gradually. A process of gaining others' trust through consistent behavior, and a movement towards greater alignment between inner and outer reality. All right, with that being said, let's hop on over to our solution slide. We're going to summarize the influence, and then we're going to start in on the solution. All right, hover around the cosmic bonfire, everybody. From deep within, Sun in Scorpio, a bold, wayfinding grand fire trine guides us towards a more authentic future through revealed truth and wisdom. The squares between Sagittarius and Pisces support this action as tensions arise in the spiritual and philosophical spaces of humanity. And those are specifically those two squares, basically Sagittarius square Pisces. The first quarter moon in Aquarius catalyzes all this into action, emerging with more truth as the waxing gibbous moon presses down on the accelerator. It's a very motivational energy, but we may find it difficult to contain or direct into useful action. All right, back to our slideshow with the transition to the solution. So you put that change line in, which is up at line 5. Now it's a yin, and you get 41. And it's we're looking for behaviors now. So those might be practice voluntary simplicity, let go of material attachments, make sacrifices with sincerity and proper timing, accept temporary limitations as opportunities for growth, practice humility and modesty, exercise restraint in spending and consumption, share knowledge and wisdom freely with others. Yay! I'm glad they gave us that green light. Aren't you glad? Or is it just me? All right, there it is, our first quarter moon in Aquarius, because that is the epicenter of centering in truth. And then we do this because we need to convert it into the rave. We need to find where that is. And the sidereal. So we have the rave 13, hexagram 13, or gate 13 in human design. And we also have Capricorn sidereal. So let's talk about 13. It's the fellowship of man. There's that kind of interpersonal aspect again. But line 5 is the savior. It's the ability to overcome all obstacles for the betterment of humanity. This is, remember, the first quarter moon. The first quarter moon is hitting at, what day was that? It is on Friday at 11:55 p.m. on the 8th of November. 8th of November. The ability to overcome all obstacles for the betterment of humanity. The charismatic genius who can find a role for everyone. The listener has a gift for finding a role for others. Okay, so we have that, and then we're ready to summarize. Summarize the solution. So we have the I Ching says decrease, like avoid material progress, be scant and limited on your material kind of stuff, and go within and learn, maybe. And then the rave says the savior shows up, but that's for humanity. We have Sidereal Capricorn, which is also very leadership-oriented, aspiration. And we have the first quarter moon, which is very motivating. So we start at the bottom with these two, the first quarter moon and Capricorn. Encourages forward movement, responsibility, ambition, and going strongly after your lunar goals. Remember, the I Ching and the rave both encourage us to reduce egoism and materialism and instead go for more mental and existential pursuits. When we combine all four, we get a very strong and ambitious leader who is sharing knowledge and wisdom, pruning the mundane and meaningless processes, making egoic sacrifices, overcoming obstacles for the betterment of humanity, and desiring to find everyone else's proper role. Bring out the best from your soul this week and direct it towards a better humanity centered in truth, authenticity, how life really is, and the existential purposefulness and meaning. You can also throw in there probably disclosure. It can apply. We got into so much practice of censoring ourselves out of fear of telling truth. And I think that too is a phenomenon that is going to, you can't push that. That's more like a champagne bottle where if you bottle it up too long and keep shaking it, it is eventually going to pop. And I think that's one of those pendulum swings in particular that we're looking at this week. So lid comes off, speak your mind, but speak truth, but make sure you are truth. There's so much in this recent dynamics that kind of demonstrate that I don't think anybody really had the truth. We had a lot that we thought was going to happen that didn't happen. And it just makes me question just the reality, the fabric of reality. So let's all dive really into truth, stay curious, question everything, but not in a fearful sort of way, in an anticipatory, but in a thirst for knowing how life really happens. And I think it's been said that everything we know, or everything we think we know, is basically a lie, because they've been lying to us all these years, all these decades, or all these centuries. But who knows if that is even true. So anyway, be curious and find the truth. All right, you ready for the plant of the week? This comes to you from or with love by Sean Elizabeth Nelson. We start with, does anybody want to screenshot that? Go ahead and do it. Plants of the sun, Angelica. Angelica archangelica, or Angelica sinensis. It's in the 12th century France. Meant the angel of the highest order. In Latin, it means angelic herb. And in Greek, angelica is known for archangelos, or chief angel, also called the root of the Holy Ghost. It blooms on the birthday of Archangel Michael. Angelica can be used in conjunction with Scorpio Sun and Mars in Leo to manifest the purest spiritual and material protection of our highest and good of humanity. that a plant or angel can provide. Also named for Archangel Raphael, the one who heals, Angelica is edible in all its forms, and health benefits include, here's a disclaimer, we're not claiming that this can cure anything. Go talk to your doctor if you dare. And otherwise, it has been known in the past to clear, tone, and purify the digestive tract, has been known to detoxify the liver, lowers anxiety and assists with relaxation, increases circulation, and tones facial skin and relieves tired eyes. I can't verify any of those because I have never tried Angelica. Has anybody tried Angelica, and what do you think? It holds the masculine polarity and the element of fire and is balanced by the goddess Venus and Tara, goddess of peace and unity. Humanity is fully engaged in the most epic moments in the history of time. All our manifestations and intent must be strategized and executed in the highest possible good without sacrificing our self-evident truths. Anyone can work with the archangels, and Angelica can invoke, through intent and prayer, Archangel Michael to protect and to help humanity. Known for his material appearances all over the world, Michael wields the sword that slays the dragon. Thank you so much, Sean, for your dedicated help, and I hope this helps all of you. All right, here's your other screenshot. If you want call this the playbook, the CIRF summary. We have a big influence this week, a lot of big components. We've got the fire trine, and along with that is wisdom, knowledge, truth finding, and who we are existentially. We've got Sagittarius square Pisces that I think is going to increase the cosmic bonfire in a way, but also help us seek depth in all those things I just mentioned. And then we want to take this solution to the next level. Time is now to seek even more truth. Ask questions, be curious, do your research, and lead. Don't be afraid to talk. All right, everybody. Profound week, I think. I think it's going to be magical. So let's do it. I'll see you next CIRF report next week. Thanks for being here. Namaste.